To understand Bridgespan's case studies, why we do them, you need first to understand why we're engaged in the creation of knowledge work that we can share externally. And that goes straight to the heart of Bridgespan's mission, which is to help organizations across the nonprofit sector do a better job of achieving results. And we've been aware from very early on that one of the best ways that we could do that was to learn from our own work with clients and then share back the lessons that we were learning with them and from them about the effective leadership and management of nonprofit organizations. One of the most exciting developments over the last 10 or 15 years has been the accelerating growth of interest in nonprofits, in social enterprise, in social change, in making the world a better place. And one of the ways that that burgeoning interest is showing up is in the growing number of graduate schools in both business, in public policy, and in social work that are offering classes specifically on the management of nonprofit organizations and the leadership of social change.
I think the case method, participant-centered learning, but the case method in particular, is a really, really effective way to teach because it puts students in the position of being the entrepreneurs, the organization founders in the classroom. And so what I've seen as a consequence of them using the case method is they're really adopting that perspective and seeing themselves as the executive making the decisions. And I think it makes for much deeper and more granular learning. This past semester I used 3 Bridgespan cases. I used My Turn because it was a very effective demonstration of market assessment. I used Stepping Stone because it was a good discussion of going to scale, Stepping Stone Foundation and their story about how they did that. And then we used the Great Valley case to take a hard look at how an organization measures the success and impact it's having in the community.
I'm a very visual and interactive type of learner, and so having a case study that was based on reality and then combined with a guest speaker was really the ideal type of learning environment for me, because I find if I'm too bogged down in theory without practical application of the theory, that I find it difficult to motivate myself.
We started out by offering only one class in nonprofit management, and now we actually have several classes. There's been an expanding interest and a broadening of the course offerings in this area. I use the volunteer match case. It is excellent to illustrate the earned income piece of my nonprofit management course. Cases are one of the several methods that I use to help students have an applied feeling for the concepts that I teach in my class. So students are much, I think it helps them remember the concepts, to be able to attach a concept to an organization that has used the theory that we're talking about in class. And I also have students look back at their own experience and try and connect that to some of the case material so they can really understand the application of the theories that we're talking about.
We really are very interested in both serving as a conduit for people who are using the case studies so that you all can talk among yourselves and share ideas with one another about what makes them effective, and also in hearing from you about things that we might do that could make them more effective for you or make them easier to use. I'd also love to know if there are particular issues that you'd like to see drawn out in case studies, because then as we're engaged in the work that gives rise to them, we can be watching for those problems and thinking about whether there might be a case study possibility there.